Hello and welcome to another Modern stream. We continue Brewing, and this time we're going to be trying out my gal, one of my favorite cards ever printed in Knight of the Reliquary. The years have not been kind to good old KOTR, but hope is the last thing to lose, or like whatever you want to call it. I am very, very stubborn, and we're going to be trying out another Knight of Reliquary shell. In the past, I've tried to kind of build Knight of the Reliquary decks with a Collected Company, but this was a little bit awkward. First of all, because there are certain cards that you really, really want to be playing, and that they don't really work with Collected Company. Example, Solitude, right? So because of that, you already have a couple of cards that are not company hits. Also, you would like to have access to stuff like, you can have the Return to Color Hand combo plus another Reliquary, which, goes infinite. I guess it's not infinite, but like you make a really, really large knight and you tap all of your opponent's threats and then you attack them and kill them, hopefully. So you are interested in playing this combo. You're also interested in playing like stuff like the Fairy. You are a Stoneforge Mystic deck, so you're interested in having access to Kaldra, Batterskull, Shadow Spear. We're trying out Ursa Saga as well. So it's like your deck is pulled in all of these different directions, and just Collected Company simply doesn't work. Like it just doesn't do what you want it to do. And like if you look at this deck list, we have 20 hits right here, right? Because we have the 3 Solitudes that are not really hits. So because of that, it kind of puts you in a weird spot where Collected Company, even though historically has been a really, really good card, and Knight of the Reliquary has often been one of the best cards to hit off of a Collected Company, it just doesn't quite work like that anymore. And you find yourself in a spot where you are trying to... the other stuff that you're doing is just more powerful than the Collected Company, and it just works a little bit more with a little bit more synergy. So because of that, we're going to be trying out the version without company that instead focuses... I'm going to be trying out a couple of different versions today. The first one is plain Reclaimer, of course, my invitational card. So we have a bunch of just robust, really good 1-drops. So we have 4 copies of Esper Sentinel, and 4 copies of Elvish Reclaimer alongside a Giver of Runes. Of course, the Giver is there because we can tutor for it with Ranger Captain of Chaos. Also, what this does is it makes Ranger Captain into a really, really good... it's like Ranger Captain is effectively a Collected Company that always hits a 3/3 that you can sack to time walk your opponent if you're playing against a deck with no creature spells, and it also hits a Reclaimer or an Esper Sentinel, like whatever is that you need. So Ranger Captain is basically Collected Company. So because of that, we're going to be trying out this version of the deck first, which plays Reclaimer. So again, we're not playing any ramp. Historically, cards like Noble Hierarch or Verse of Paradise have been staples of this archetype, but we're not playing those today. We're playing some just generically good cards instead of all the ramp. As I said, we are an Ursa Saga deck, so we have a very tiny, Ursa Saga kind of package. So we have either Spellbomb, Shadow Spear, and Soulguide Lantern. Note that we don't really have any way of recurring the saga, so it's not like we're playing Red and 6 or anything like that. So we're gonna see how this works out. But you can still get some pretty good value from the saga, and we have multiple ways to fetch it with Reclaimer and Knight of the Reliquary. We're also playing Yavimaya, so we can sack the saga with the trigger with the 3rd chapter on the stack to the Knight or to the Elvish Reclaimer to get a little bit of extra value, so we don't get hit too hard by our land getting destroyed. We're also playing a couple of Flagstones to go alongside our Reclaimer and Knights. The rest of the mana base is just some fetches, some shock lands, and in order to combo with Retreat to Koralhelm, and just some generically good cards. The thing that I'm going to be watching out for is this has 8 fetchables, so we have Breeding Pool, Forest, Hallowed Fountain, 2 Plains, and 3 Temple Gardens. So these plus the Flagstones. So that means that, we're going to be fetching these off Flagstones. Plus all of our fetch lands. I'm thinking that we may want to cut the canopy for another shock land or something like that. Or maybe cut a fetch land for another shock land, so we don't run out of lands to go fetch when we are going up with Reanimator of the Reliquary. 8 seemed like a somewhat reasonable number, but maybe I am just lowballing a little bit too hard here. We'll see how it works out, but this is going to be the main deck that we're going to be looking at. The main deck is just some generic stuff. We have like Biting Needle as an extra Saga target, we have a Forge Tender and Giant Killer to go fetch with Ranger Captain of Chaos, Veil of Summer against, you know, like the Shadows and stuff like that, Fluster against the combo deck, same with Mystical Dispute against combo and control, extra copies of Endurance. Endurance, another fantastic card in an archetype like this. It's just like a very, very solid body, and it wears equipment particularly well. An extra copy of Time Raveler against Cascade decks and stuff like that. Same reason for Chalice of the Void. And a couple of copies of Force of Vigor because Hammer is still a deck. We're going to be trying this through a Modern League. If you're enjoying the content or you have some thoughts or some ideas about the brew, always really happy to hear about that. So make sure you leave a comment down below. Of course, you hit that follow and sub button and all that good stuff. And I'll see you for round number 1. Alright, round number 1. Turn 1 Sentinel, turn 2 Interaction alongside a Saga. Sure, let's keep it. Maybe someday we'll get to cast this Teferi. Maybe. I'm going to lead on Flagstones because if we draw a second Flagstones, I can play a second Flagstones on turn number 2. And what that will do is fix my mana for Teferi. Because I can go find Hallowed Fountain. Hallowed Fountain, Watery Grave. Unmarked Grave. Okay. Trying to Reclaimer. So I'm going to play Saga on 2 then. Soul Guide Lantern? Because I'm thinking that Saga's going to be too slow, actually. Like, my opponent went for it on turn 2, right? So, obviously, they're going to have something. So, I need to find a blue source. So, I'm going to play second Esper Sentinel. So, I get to draw a card. And I can go find a blue source. And I can just bounce their Archon. Last 5 cards already shipped and underway for Amulet. And because of it... Oh, that's awesome, Miss Lethal. It's a good time. Amulet is a good time. Little Retreat flashes me back to 2014, having my first game more Magic. Yeah, it's a good time. Retreat is fun. Retreat is fun. I enjoy me some Retreat to Coralhelm gaming. I mean, we do get to sack Flagstones here. God damn it. I have to resolve this Teferi. Like, this is just awkward. So, sack Sentinel. Sack Knight. It's so bad, man. That is so bad. Going down to 7? I should have discarded the Retreat, by the way. I just realized that. What are we doing here? Can get Yavimaya. It's better with my Knight, so I can sack this Saga if I get... I mean, I'm gonna be casting Teferi here regardless, so probably doesn't work. No! No! Come on! So unfair. I guess we do have Solitude in the deck. Solitude? Sadness. Complete and absolute sadness. Okay, so this card seems good. These cards are probably good. These seems good. Veil seems reasonable. Giant Killer seems pretty good. Modest of Mind, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody from Modest of Mind's stream. Trying out some brewing here. Trying out some little brewskis. I don't like the retreat. Thank you for that follow, Rafa Martin. ¿Cómo estuvo tu stream, capo? ¿Todo en orden? Han with the tier 1 sub, 34 months. Much love, my guy. Much love to you as well, my friend. Thank you so much for the support. Hello, everybody. Ooh, we also had Aether Spellbomb? I totally forgot about Aether Spellbomb. Hey, I appreciate the follows. A Raptor and Netwealth. Thank you for that. Played Heliod Company for 1, lost against the Mirror. That's funny. Yeah, I think Heliod is pretty underplayed right now. Pretty underplayed right now. Historically, Heliod was just the nuts against Shadow, right? And Shadow is kind of the best deck right now, so... Damn, that's a lot of follows. Can't even keep up, so thank you. Okay, what are we cutting here? Stoneforge seems fine. I'm not too high on... Actually, I'm not too high on Stoneforge at all. Now, the more that I think about it, the worse that it seems. Because they have Prismatic Ending, they can either kill a Stoneforge or they can just like kill the Caldra token. Like, it puts me in a... It's just bad. So... How many disputes do I want? Do I want all of them? Definitely want the Fluster. Definitely want the Sentinels. Giant Killer seems great. Maybe the Giver can go. There you go. Ralaroth with the sub. Tier 1, 29 months. Thank you for the continued support. This hand sucks. Ship it. This hand also sucks. But at least I have, you know, cards to do stuff, so... I'm gonna send the Mystical Dispute. Ooh, Brian also with the sub. Thank you for using your Twitch Prime in this channel. Appreciate it. We can cast all of our spells at least, right? Am I right? Like with oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Beat Shadow once, but the rest of the league was kind of bizarre. Slivers. Wow. Well, this looks bad. Besides, I forgot my old Twitch account, so I no longer have a 2-year sub. Oh, wow. Brutal. You just forgot the password or something? Oh man, this is just so sad. This is so sad. Richard Connell found the right channel to watch. Yes, you have. Palm Daddy, yes you have. Hate ya. Here's a Shadow Spear. There's no way they have Thoughtseize into fucking... Right? Green Source. Easy. I think I get Temple Garden here, actually, right? Because of the Ranger Captain? I mean, if they continue doing nothing, like, I'm gonna Endurance them here now. Prismatic Ending, a Reclaimer. Well, that sucks. Don't appreciate that. Maybe they'll go for it. Okay. I mean, I'm suiting up this bad boy. Even if I miss on a land, I'm gonna be suiting up this bad boy, so. Oh, well, I misclicked. Whoops. Since I misclicked, I'm just gonna hold up Veil. So I can Endurance with Veil back up. Okay. So there's no reason to Endurance there, and I drew the land to hardcast the Endurance because I mean, the second my opponent paid for Sentinel, that's when it just doesn't make sense anymore. So let's just cast this Endurance. Shuffle their graveyard. Well, let's start pressuring the Tef. Opponent can minus on like Esper Sentinel. Okay, that's fine. So if they have the combo entirely rolled up here, that could be a problem. I can still just Solitude the Archon, but we're still kind of getting wrecked by it. And now I can't pressure the thing. So sack that. I think we're going to discard Veil of Summer. And I guess I can't do this yet. So never mind. Perfect. What do I want to do? Do I want a Knight or do I want a Ranger Captain? I think I want a Knight. Because it means that next turn I can do more stuff. Grande Polaco, ¿qué hace, capo? ¿Todo bien? Udok with 5 guesting subs. Thank you so much for that, Udok Adok. And welcome, Stat Steffi, Palm Daddy, Lovable Dingo, Doc Register, and Mark Moling. All of you, welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Hell yeah. That's hype. That's hype. Look at those Sakapas. Look at those Sakapas. Never click on a stream so fast as when I read Bant Knightblade. Nice. Don't come with me again, bro. Just don't do it. Ugh. Okay. Land would be great. Sure. So we're definitely gonna go with Reclaimer here. Thank you for all the gifts, these subs, Adok. Appreciate it. Do they have Counterspell? They had March? Why would they not March? If they were going to kill the Saga, they just gave me a mana for no reason. That makes no sense. I mean, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong. I will certainly take it. Gonna bounce Reclaimer, probably. Okay. This is pretty awkward. Hudson with the Prime sub. Man, we got so many subs today. Thank you, everybody, for the support. Really appreciate all of you hanging out here today. So we can go a couple different ways here. I think I'm going to go with Knight first. So let's kill the Tef. Play the Knight, because it's also harder for my opponent to kill the Knight than for them to kill the Reclaimer. They're down to 2 cards in hand. Hopefully they don't have the combo. Yeah, play Cho. It just feels so nasty when you get to deal with the trigger on the stack. What is this? Solitude, probably. They can Solitude the Knight. Oh. We have answers to that, so that's not that big of a deal. That's pro creatures. Wait, did I mess this up? I had to upkeep go fetch Saga, right? So that I can have access to either Spellbomb. The Fairy is my out now. I'm gonna take 7. I may get punished by this equip here. Because we can technically use Knight in order to hardcast this dispute. If my opponent plays like an Archon or something. But I don't really need the blue mana just yet. So if we go get Saga... I can't gain life because this prevents the damage. So that's not an option. I can go get Canopy. So I need to draw exactly the Fairy. We have 3 copies of it. I have to draw exactly the Fairy Time Raveler. So we're gonna give myself 2 looks at it. Perfect. The Fairy? Yeah, we're just dead now. We're just dead. Killed by the angel. All right. Let's not lose hope. Let's not lose hope. I feel like I got pretty unlucky that game. So hopefully we can do something better. Like we just keep our land drop multiple turns. See you next round. On the play, turn to Stoneforge. Kind of interesting what we fetch on turn 1. I'm probably gonna fetch Temple Garden. We don't really have that many blue cards. Probably Batterskull. I'm imagining that this is the Spike deck. Fury, Pitching Fury. Okay. I'll take my 2 for 0. Isn't every deck a Spike deck? That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Could get Knight of the Reliquary, but I think I'd rather wait. And the reason to wait is I can play a 5/5 Knight if I find any other fetch land. So Ranger Captain. So it is the Spike deck. Yep. Let's get a breeding pool here. Is Knight good again? Probably not. Probably not. But I don't care. So we win next turn if my opponent doesn't have an answer for the Knight. And they pitched the Fury to the Fury, so it's not super likely that they're going to have an answer. I guess they can have Solitude. So I'd rather not give them one nor draw. Why not Bonita the Caldra? Because I can just win. And I think I'm gonna go for it. My opponent has one more look at a Solitude, but if they don't find it, they just lose the game. So the way this works is we start doing stuff here. Get a fetch land, tap or untap target creature. We untap here. We fetch. Find the forest. Tap. Float mana. Sack. Another fetch land. Tap that. Fetch. Plains. Float mana. Activate Stoneforge. Fetch land. Tap or untap. Yes. Fetch. Temple Garden. You get the idea of what we're trying to do here. you get the idea. Misty. Oh, this is cute. I hadn't even thought about this, but like we get to untap we get to untap the Stoneforge too. That's hilarious. This is 12. This is almost lethal. All right. That's nice. That's very nice. That's very, very nice. Okay. This seems pretty good against the Fury deck, particularly because Esper Sentinel just sucks. Now the real question is my opponent playing Blood Moon or they're playing Magus? They're playing Blood Moon or Magus? Gonna hedge towards Blood Moon, I think. Kind of a weird hand, but probably still a keep. I think I'm gonna go turn 1 Hallowed Fountain. This is gonna be kind of painful, but like I don't know if I want to fetch for a Temple Garden or a basic Plains with this just yet. So by delaying the decision a little bit, gives me a little bit more flexibility. Stoneforge. Okay. It's gonna die to my prismatic ending. Oh. Well, I'm gonna play around Blood Moon here. And I think I'm gonna go for Caldra, which exposes me to to my opponent's Solitude and to, I guess it also exposes me to Fury. But it's kind of what it is. Also, Kaldra's bad against Prismatic Ending. Kaldra's is not very good, huh? Bolt my Stoneforge. Okay, not super stoked about that. I'm gonna try to go find a land. Land? Easy land. Hit ya. Hey Sari, how's it going? Another Stoneforge. That's a problem. Big problem. Big problem. Play these stabs. We're gonna get a little scry action here. Land is good. Yeah, sure. So even if my opponent puts Kaldra in play, oddly enough, them playing Kaldra is like the best thing that could happen to me, because then I can just Solitude the Kaldra, move on with my life. No blocks. Scry 1. Fetchlands are actively very good with Retreat to Coral Helm, which is pretty funny. Here I'm not killing because I'm interested in my opponent spending their mana to like put the sword in and then spend their mana to equip onto the Kaldra, and I'm gonna kill in response to the attempt to equip here. But I basically just time walked my opponent for free. Fetchlands making other cards better? Shh. The other cards are the problem. Fetchlands are fine. It's the other cards that are problematic. It is the other cards that are a problem. So we're gonna use the Fetchland in order to tap my opponent's creature. The question is, do I want to make a token with Saga, or do I want to just play this Batterskull? We've used Elias Spellbomb, so we can. I think we're just gonna play Batterskull here. Pro black, by the way. Sure. Gonna scry, like I'm almost definitely gonna fetch. I'm almost definitely gonna fetch, but maybe I don't. I don't know. But yeah, I think my opponent's just gonna suit up the Kaldra onto the Stoneforge, and then we can tap it. Maybe they'll just equip the sword? Seems so mana inefficient, though. Maybe they want to, like, equip the sword. And then second main equip the Cauldron. Maybe that's their plan. Fury. That's bad. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad there. We'd love to see a Knight of the Reliquary, stuff like that, land. I mean, this means we can hardcast Kaldra. But then we're dead. Because then they suit it up. Or like they suit up here and they have Pro Black and I can't block. I think I need an answer. So I'm gonna make a token. Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear do anything? I think it does. Scry 1. Brunter Forge Tender? That's kind of funny. I mean, it only gives me one turn though, right? It only gives me one single turn. I think I need it though. I think I need the turn. Sword of Feast and Famine is gonna do me good. I think the right play for my opponent is to Kaldra onto the Stoneforge. That's like almost a time walk, but not really. I can't even block. It's pretty rough. Solitude? Force of Vigor. Does that do anything? Batterskull suit up here. It's an 8/8, we gain 8. And now we can take 16. Oh, I guess they just suit up here, right? They just move this sword over here. Yeah, it's probably gonna be too much. I mean, if I had if I had one more turn, so I could, because if I could Forge Tender this turn, it would be so much better. But like it was lethal last turn, so I was kind of forced into doing it. Fetch land would have also been sick. Had a bunch of ways to go about it, but Manriki Gusari, dude. Wow. I mean, we don't have a green card to punish them, but that's funny. Like, this card is just not good. Never seen this card be good. I don't think this is a giant killer matchup. It may be a Pithing Needle matchup, though. Because I don't think I'm super high. I mean, Teferi answers Kaldra, though. Let's do this. A little bit less reliant on Stoneforge. Because my opponent has infinite answers to Stoneforge. Okay. Keep this. Oh, Spear, Flavor Text killed Kaldra there. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point for sure. I mean, it still doesn't really matter though, because you know it has it has double strike because of the Fury, right? So it doesn't really matter. I'm just dead to it. Like, it just first strike kills my thing, and like we're in the same spot. So it doesn't really change anything. But yeah, you are making a good point though. Okay. Definitely playing around Blood Moon here. Opponent can't attack. We're gonna sack to go get Flagstones. Stoneforge. Flagstones of Trocare. Oof, that's really good. That's really, really good. I'm actively happy if my opponent spends this turn playing Kaldra, because I have multiple answers to the card. So I'm just gonna pass the turn, have my opponent spend mana on that as opposed to something like a Blood Moon, and then next turn we can, you know, kind of choose her. Wow, really? That's what you're doing, huh? Oh, this doesn't work anymore. Oh, I fucked this up. I had to do this in response. Well, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that was really stupid. I fucked that up for sure. I fucked that up for sure. Massive mistake. Huge, huge, huge mistake. Like, look at how much better the extra mana would have mattered here. The extra mana would have been insane. I honestly totally forgot about the interaction. It was just my bad. As I said, I'm not too worried about this. Just gonna Teferi minus. Solitude is nice. It sucks a little bit that my opponent's gonna get to draw a card here. Finding land is cool. Finding land is cool. Pass the turn. Just gonna sit back and protect the Tef. Man, that was such a big misstep. That was such a big mistake. Ranger Captain is kind of whatever. think I'm gonna Ranger Captain for Giver. I think that's the plan here. I could spend the entire turn to ramp by 1 by fetching and getting Flagstones and then sacking that. But I think I'm gonna go for Giver here. The good thing about spending the turn to sack is that it blanks my opponent's attacks, right? Because I can make Reclaimer into a 3/4. So it just straight up blanks my opponent's attacks. It's close though. I think it's close. I think it's close. Solitude. Probably gonna kill the Giver. Yeah, you got me. They kind of have to do that. Esper Sentinel doesn't really do anything. Fervent Champion doesn't do anything either. I think if they offer the trade, I take it. I guess I could Teferi my own Ranger Captain to draw another card in a couple of turns. So it's sort of tempting to not do this, but there we go. Now I'm going to pass the turn. This is the turn that I'm going to ramp now, and I'm going to make both Reclaimers into 3/4s. And then we're going to be pretty significantly ahead on board. Because then we can start just hard casting Solitudes and eventually overwhelming what my opponent's trying to do over there. Also, this force is like a clean 2-for-1 with those Esper Sentinels. Fury? Fury pitching Blood Moon. Okay. Are they going to go 2-2? Or they're just going to kill the Tef? Like, they just have to kill the Tef, right? Yeah, okay. Like, this is a much better play from them. Definitely the right play from my opponent. And now we do know for a fact that they have Blood Moon, which is always good to be aware of. We could get... Maybe we should have gotten Plains there. Could get Saga here. I just don't have to. It's a pretty bad draw. Pretty bad draw, but I still think we're in pretty good shape. So it's not that big of a deal. 6, yeah, pass the turn. Opponent doesn't have enough mana. They don't have good attacks either. They have this stupid Memory Kigusari that doesn't do anything. I mean, I can just take it, right? And then I kill the Esper Sentinel. I'm killing the other one because, like, I want for my opponent to block here. So I'm going to attack with air. I guess... Whatever, I'm just going to attack here. They can trade for the thing here, but this is just great for me. So now that's gone. Here's my knight. Here's my Shadow Spear. Your go. Good luck. Like, they can destroy my Shadow Spear, but, like, whatever. Again, like, this card just doesn't do anything. Okay, that's kind of scary, so let's kill that. Alright, sweet. Got him! 1-1. Let's try the next round. Okay, round number 3. Hand seems great. Let's keep it. What caused Green-White Reclaimer to completely disappear? Well, first of all, it's called Green-White Reclaimer. Adam MTG. It's called Green-White Reclaimer. And second of all, it's Field of the Dead was Bant. And trust me, I tried with Ursa Saga. Turns out Ursa Saga doesn't really combo particularly well with... Ursa Saga doesn't combo well with... what's his name? Valakut. I think I'm ending the mana here. Like, my opponent gave me a card, right? So they need that. Clearly that's a good card for them. So because of that, let's see if I can work this out. Galvanic Blast the Reclaimer. You got it, Chief. The last Reclaimer streamer. That's always been true. That's literally always been true. So it's interesting there whether I'd rather play second Flagstones or whether I'd rather play play the breeding pool, play the fetch land. Sorry, I think that second Flagstones is where I want to be. The breeding pool is where I'm going to be because I can go find Yavimaya this turn. I can go with Yavimaya this turn and then play the second Flagstones and ramp even harder on the following turn. So I think this is better. Ha! Nice. Play this Saga. Soul Guide. Ranger Captain. Actually, I should have gone get Reclaimer instead of... I guess I can do it right now. Find Yavimaya. Play Reclaimer. Swing for 1. And here my opponent can go get a Pipe Needle off of the Saga, but if they do, then like they cannot name both. Like they can either name Knight or Reclaimer. I'm assuming they're gonna name Knight because it's much better, but and their construct's going to need to be really, really big in order to get larger than this Knight of the Reliquary. Maybe a little bit too unreasonably big. Springleaf Drum. So they're short on mana. Good thing I blew up the thing on turn 1, right? Good thing I blew up the Moonsnare or whatever. Do I do Donation deck? Yes, I do. So we're gonna go ham on ramping here. This is great. This is great. So get a Hallowed Fountain, Build your own Bant Triumph, right? The poor man's Bant Triumph. Let's get a canopy, play a Flagstones, and say go. What? Alright, talk to me, opponent. What are you up to over there? Alright. Alright. Opponent's got some stuff going on. This knight is gonna do a lot now though. Whoops. Make a token. Knight, sack Flagstones. We're out of Flagstones here. But I think that's fine. Let's get a fetch land so we can grow the knight if we need to. Untap. Make a token. Trigger on the stack. Sack Saga. Go find another Saga. Get Shadow Spear. Play this. Equip Spear. This is a 2-turn clock. I can basically sacrifice this construct to have my opponent crack their Arcrown Ravager. I think that's worth it. Yeah, Maya's really good with Knight. Maya is absolutely fantastic with Knight of the Reliquary. What's your trick, opponent? Oh, God Blast. Okay. I mean, it still hits for a ton. I think we're still in good shape here. Unless they have like a Aether Spell on themselves. Thought Monitor. Shocking? Okay. Ballsy. Another Thought Monitor. Okay. Yeah, I'm drawing with Lantern instead. Like, it obviously doesn't do anything there, right? Oh. Well, that's easy mode. Man, I was ready to like have to figure out a challenging turn with combat math and like interesting play patterns, and then I drew the Solitude and it's just like, yeah, just that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 8 mana. I have 8 mana. I can just hard cast the Solitude. I think we start here. Makes the Knight a 10/10. For Sentinel doesn't really matter. How can they block here? Let's just do that. They can suck a bunch of shit to the Ravager. Okay, so these are the blocks. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Start there. I'm just gonna pitch to this Solitude. Alternatively, I could just let this go. I think I'm actually gonna let this go and see what I'm gonna pass priority here, because we get to trade with both of these. Actually, I should have ordered the blockers the other way around. I should have ordered these two first. Yeah, my opponent's gonna do some stuff. And now I can Solitude kill this. Can kill the Thought Monitor. And my Knight tramples through, and they have to sack the Ravager in order to put 2 extra counters here. And then I just play a second Knight post-combat, or I still can activate this Reclaimer to grow the Knight up to level 11. Okay. Damage. Interesting. Okay. Here we go. Play another one of these. Here we go. Maybe I should be cracking the Ranger Captain here. I'm not sure though. Like, this is gonna pop off and it's gonna find Aether Spellbomb and just gonna bounce the token and it's gonna be game over, but my opponent doesn't know that. Still back it. Alright, forces look good. Gimme those forces. Beating Needle looks good. Giant Killer actually looks pretty solid, and it's a two-door target for Ranger Captain, which is nice. What else? Esper Sentinel sucks. I think I'd rather have Teferi than Esper Sentinel. My curve is garbage now, but that's probably okay. Maybe Forge Tender is better than third Teferi. They're playing a version with like Albanic Blasts and stuff. We actually don't have that many green cards for Force, which is something that I was a little bit cautious of. But like, you know, Force is just such a nasty card. We only have 10 green cards. We have a bunch of white cards for Solitude, but we don't really have that many for Force Vigor. So all of these are white cards. Got 23. 20 without counting the Solitudes. Can I explain how the combo works? For sure. So the way this works is you have a Retreat to Coralhelm, who has an ability that says landfall and you choose one, you may tap or untap target creature or you scry one. So when you combo that with Knight of the Reliquary, what you do is you tap the Knight of the Reliquary, you sack your land, and you go get a fetch land. That grows the Knight for 1 because it's one more land going to the graveyard. Then you use the trigger of Retreat to Colorham to untap your Knight of the Reliquary, and then you fetch, and then you use the trigger from the land you fetch to tap your opponent's creatures. That way you can you can just copy and paste, like just rinse and repeat over and over again, and eventually your Knight of the Reliquary is going to get through and it's going to kill your opponent, hopefully, unless they've gained a bunch of life or something. I think I'm keeping this and bottoming Temple Garden. Not super stoked about this hand though. Not super stoked about it. Not super whatever the opposite of stoked is either. But I feel like it's a hand that if it draws one more land, we're gonna be in trouble. If I do manage to draw one more land, we're gonna be in trouble. I think I'm ending the Springleaf Drum. And yeah, that, by the way, that's exactly what happened, right? Oh yes. Oh yes. It's pretty brutal. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. I'm playing the fetch land there because if I draw a Knight, I'm interested in, you know, having more fetch lands in my graveyard, so I can play through Galvanic Blast. So that's why I'm actually playing the fetch lands out here. This is gonna find a Breeding Pool. Hey, look at that. Gonna start with Ranger Captain here. Plains, because of the reason that I just said. And I think that we're gonna go fetch Reclaimer. God blast. So smart. I am so smart. Oh. Well, at this point with a 5/5 Knight, though. They can Gall Blast the Reclaimer, I guess. Synthesizer. That's a good one. That is indeed what we call a good one. That is also a good one. That is also a good one. Play that one. Time walk you. Just get Kaldra here. Opponent has gone through 2 Galvanic Blasts. It's not super likely that they have another one. And actually, we're going to be able to hardcast the Kaldra if we want to. That's a Saga. Gallblast. Gallblast the Knight. Do they have... I'm assuming that they have a way to kill this. Like, because I could have gotten Flagstones, right? But I'm assuming that if they're doing this, they have a way to kill this. And now that they showed me Fury, that means that any red card kills this. But they luck sucked, right? They totally luck sucked. And now this just works perfectly to clear my entire board. They totally luck sucked into a Fury. Sure thing. Let's just draw another land. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Just out here drawing some lands. Should have attacked. So I think we just tap for mana. Get Shadow Spear. Or we could just Needle the Saga. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Sup. Just the classic 7 mana Caldra complete. Next turn we're gonna get to start to scry a little bit if we want to. Or just gonna be able to do stuff. We can also just tap my opponent's things so I can let my dudes through. Just gonna suit up the Memnite. That's better. Doesn't make tokens. All right. We're gonna swing here. If they go all in on anything, I'm just gonna tap whatever they on beginning of combat. I'm just gonna tap whatever they put the Shadow Spear on. So this is just fine, and then this land taps whatever they move the spear to. So unless they can kill me here, which is not, I guess it's not impossible. They're playing Galvanic Blast in their deck after all, right? But how sweet is it that like Retreat to Coralhelm just randomly... it's randomly great interaction. Just messes combat super hard. Is that enough? Is that 10? It doesn't look like 10 to me. Tap a dude. Fetch lands are so sick. Fetch lands are so sick. Red Splash might be just for Galvanic Blast Medic and some interaction in the board like Alpamoon or more nonsense. Well, we saw Fury, right? Fury was kind of a blowout. Any new brew that has surprised you from Neon? Yes, obviously, like Knight of the Reliquary Control has surprised me. They can't attack like this. If they attack like this, they lose. Yeah, they can't attack like that. Unless they have lethal. Like, if one of their last 2 remaining cards is Galvanic Blast number 3, then I lose. But if they don't have exactly Gal Blast in, like, they found the 3rd Gal Blast in the top 19 cards, then I think we're gonna win. But yeah, I think Affinity is pretty good, actually. I think that Neon really made Affinity quite powerful. That's so good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tap the Ravager. And what this does is by tapping the Ravager, I'm making it so... Yeah, I'm making it so they are forced to sack the Ravager and they have to... Like, I'm forcing the issue, right? Like, I attack with both things. They block here, and they actually have to put some counters on the Thopter. Or, like, whatever blocks the Kaldra. So they need to move the counters onto something else, and then whatever they put the counters on gets exiled. So because of the Kaldra ability. So at that point, like, they just have nothing going on, and we just win. All right, 2-1. All right, 2-1. Man, this is just good brain chemicals right here. It makes me remember some simpler times and some better times. Yes, we don't mulligan Splinter Twin in this dojo. We don't mulligan Splinter Twin in this dojo. Oh man. Gonna take my Reclaimer now. They take Sentinel? I guess they have an answer to Reclaimer. But that means that they don't deploy their... So they're gonna have an answer to Reclaimer here, but that means that they don't get to deploy a threat. So then I just get to Stoneforge and they have to kill my Stoneforge. Like, it just puts them kind of behind here. Also, what the hell is my opponent playing? I'm getting Kaldra because it has the highest upside. Like, if my opponent doesn't have a removal spell exactly this turn, like, this Kaldra is just gonna win the game. Like, I really doubt that my opponent has any answers. They're playing black-green. I really doubt that they have any answers to this card in their entire deck. So I'm forcing my opponent to have the answer right now. They have it. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Missed land drop too. Well, Ursa Saga, do your thing. I summon you, Ursa Saga. Sentinel is the best one playing Modern. I think Ragavan is a better play. But Sentinel is easily the second one. Yeah, I don't think this is the game my opponent wanted to play. They're just not progressing their board. Like, every turn that goes by, things get worse and worse and worse for them. Might have Liliana since low lures? Yeah, probably. But like, I just have stupid Saga tokens, right? These are great Liliana fodder. Like, they're just gonna lose to my land. Lands OP. You heard it here first, chat. Lands are busted. Are they just playing Boomer Jund? They're playing fucking Boomer Jund, aren't they? You got a monkey. They're playing fucking Boomer Jund, man. These are some pretty reasonable top decks. I'm gonna fetch shock here, but having triple white seems potentially important. And I'm just not going to attack. Because if they have a removal spell here, I'm going to trade for the monkey. They just didn't use their mana. Yeah, this game's over now. Game officially over. All right. That's a push. That's a bolt. You better find something really good there. You didn't. All right. And here I'm going to go for Ranger Captain into Reclaimer as opposed to going for Knight. The reason for this is that it's a 2-for-1 and my opponent, I mean, they would need to find exactly an answer to the other thing. They're not gonna. There's no way. Triumphs are super stupid designs and should not exist. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I mean, that sounds correct. I agree. Bloodbreed Elf? Bloodbreed Elf? How am I ever gonna beat this? Oh, that's right, with my entire deck. I almost forgot there. I almost forgot there. My bad, chat. My bad. My entire deck beats this. Silly me. Silly me, I forgot. Wait, what? Come on, opponent. Yay, red and 6. Are we still here? Kind of feels like we're still here and I don't know why. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Tarmogoyf. Unbeatable. Just unbeatable. Just remember, you could be playing Lurrus, opponent. You could be playing Lurrus. This is gas. This is just... This is gasolina, chat. This right here is gasolina. I'm gonna cut the retreats. Gonna bring good cards instead. I think I'm bringing in Veils. Like, it's kind of awkward. But it's probably worth it. Giant Killer's kind of weird because it can kill Goyfs, but then it's kind of dead. Yeah, I agree with that, Martinez. I think I'm not gonna bring in the Veils on the draw. Ranger Captain's busted. Like, all of my cards are 2-for-1s. 2-for-1. I guess this is a 2-for-1. This is very often a 2-for-1. 2-for-1. And then the ones that are not 2-for-1s are just like threats that single-handedly win the game. It's pretty funny. I think I'm gonna pass on the Giant Killer. It literally just kills Goif. Yeah, fuck that. We're not doing that. It survives Rem Ping though, so that's that. Let's go with this. No Splinter Twin, but still a pretty reasonable hand. I'm assuming my opponent's not playing Blood Moon. Modern Horizon 2 for once. That's funny. Gonna lead on Flooded Strand into Breeding Pool. For blue-white control, what are some typical cards you would board out and bring in against Boomer Jund? I would just like smash my deck together and then win anyway. That's what I would do. I would imagine that your matchup with blue-white is just outstandingly good. The only way you win is you get greedy and you keep a 2-lander and then you just don't draw lands. That's how you lose that matchup. It's the same thing that we got going on here. Like blue-white is like mono 2 for once. Like this is just such a good exchange for me. I think gonna go basic plains here. Play Stoneforge. Next turn we go Stoneforge into a 3/4 Reclaimer. And I think I still get Kaldra because it really puts the pressure on my opponent. Yeah, we're playing against Boomer Jund. That's how you know. That's how you know. Kind of flooding a little bit here, but it's okay. It's okay. Definitely getting Batter Skull. Because we can just cast it. So. I play will I control my opponent LGS plays Boomer Jund. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you need to devote any cyber slots to the matchup. Like none whatsoever. I think your matchup should be fantastic. Almost regardless of anything that happens. Again, like the only thing that you can probably lose is you either flood or you get screwed. That's the only way that you lose. If you play any sort of reasonable game, you should probably be ahead every single time. Poseidon. Three, 4 Goif. Land, creature. We only have land and creature? This is too easy. It is just too easy. Or 3 for us. Yeah, who's the superior Goif? Who is the superior Goif? Let me ask you that question, chat. Who is the better Goif? Who wore it best? Who wore it best? This one or this one? Attacking Reanimator such a mic. We didn't even need to show them. Didn't even need to show the endurance. Opponent's just like, yep. Yep, you got it. I mean, I'm gonna do this, right? Can I block? Like my opponent played around it last turn and then played right into it this turn. It's a little bit confusing. Discard a card, shock. Well, we have to discard the land because this actually grows the endurance. So never mind. So it doesn't matter what we discard. So that means I want to discard the Caldra. Because this was going to become a 3-4 regardless, right? But now I get to make a token and I get to activate Reclaimer. Or I can just draw a Solitude, I guess. This is just better value. I'm not going to pass up on better value, right? Just not going to pass up on better value. Imagine your opponent uses K command when you have Batterskull in hand. Yeah, I know, and they know about it too. They know about this call as well, which is pretty funny. Take it. I'm not afraid of your bullshit. All right, you got me. That actually forces my hand. Oh, reclaiming to place number 2, that would have been better. Yeah, that would have been better. Or I can just, you know, I can just draw like this, you know what I'm saying? So opponent's out of cards. This is just better against discard spells and Liliana. So we just chill here. Yeah, Magus is a mod. Magus has been here for a minute. Magus is old school. They attack? 4, 7. Okay. Let's see it. What do you got? Yeah. Yep, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, funny enough, my opponent would have locked themselves out. Like, they're playing Lilianas and shit, and they would have been not even remotely close to casting it. I mean, that's just the Boomer Junt life, dude. Like, you're just rolling so many dice, man. You're just rolling so many dice. And you're just hoping that things work out. And trust me, they're not going to work out. Alright, see you next round. Alright. I think this hand is just too risky. Sure, we have 3 1-drops and we're on the draw. But, like, this is already a mull to 5. So I think I'm going to ship it. Yikes. I guess I keep this. Bottom the redundant flagstones. Ba 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 ba. This is how we do it. Oh, ba 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 ba. Which is worse, playing Magus in a 3-color Junt or playing Chalice when your E-Tron deck plays Expedition Maps? Whatever you like worse. Whatever you like better. I mean, that's the worst one. Is this just Rhinos or is this... Is it just Murktide? Maybe this is just Murktide. They didn't answer the Reclaimer. They did not kill the Reclaimer. I don't think I can play around Bolt here. I'm gonna kill it now. It's kind of fine. They bounce it. Okay. Green source? Easy green source. Play this. Remand. Huh. We got a Remand Gamer in our hands. That sure is something. That sure is something. I think my opponent is trying to race me in the air. So when they play the second borrower, I'm just going to Solitude one of them. And now we can start doing some Saga things. But I don't know if I want to do Saga things until I know what my opponent's up to, you know? Because they're playing Remand over there. That shit's wild. Saga. Saga. Oh, hello. 1, 2, 3. So they're playing Charm. I don't think I want to equip Shadow Spear since they're playing Charm. So I think I'm just gonna make a token. They have Double Bolt. If they have Double Bolt, they got me. Boomer John into Blue Moon, what year is this? I have no idea. Snapcaster Bolt. Dude, Remand is mind-boggling. Remand is just... I don't even know. I don't even know what it is. So Esper Sentinel is sick. I think Stoneforge is bad. Retreat is bad. Gonna cut one Solitude. Gonna teach opponent some 29 action, yeah, exactly. Show opponent what's good. There we go. Found the time rift in the modern queue. Keep. I'm gonna turn one fetch for basic planes. This allows me to play around Blood Moon And it also allows me to play a bigger knight. Like I can play up to a 5/5 knight if I want to on turn 3. Hit ya. Thing in the ice. Wow. That's one that you don't see too often, huh? That's not one you see very often. Every time someone says Remand is bad, I think of the Evoke Elementals or Pitch spells. But then I try it and it's not, and it's hot trash. Not sure why it works in theory, but it's not actual play. Well, it's a lot of things that go into something like that, right? Like you may think that something's not very good, but like it's all about stuff being contextually good as opposed to being objectively good. Don't bolt my Reclaimer. Okay, you're bolting my Esper Sentinel. Makes a lot more sense. Says the guy playing out of the Reliquary. I never said that Knight was good, right? Nobody ever said that Knight of the Reliquary was good, okay? I've made that very clear. Where's the Jury Step when you need it? Fortunately not in my deck, because that would suck. Remand is a sick tempo spell in the right deck. Yes, in combo decks specifically. It's good in combo decks specifically. And nowhere else. I'm going to activate here just because I can. But I'm not really interested in doing anything with the activation, if that makes sense. I want Dark Depths. Yeah, let's not. Let's not do Dark Depths. Well, I guess now I'm gonna play this Endurance. Maybe force my opponent to remand this or counter this, and then next turn I can just Solitude this thing. And I think I'm just gonna go for the hardcast Solitude. Opponent gains 7, but at the same time, whatever, right? Sure. Swing. Land. This guy. This gal. Counterspell. Archmage's Charm. Remand. Okay, got me. Now they can't deploy Borrower. And now we're just playing tempo. That's good. That's good. That's real good. You got a Borrower. Just gonna have a hard time racing this Solitude. Dark Depths can go into Amulet though. It's probably too powerful not to play Magus, so I will probably find a way. It's a little bit too powerful. Yeah, you just run one of each. It's fine. Like, you don't need to go ham with it, right? Steal my Reclaimer? My Reclaimer? This is gonna be a fun turn. This turn is going to be fun. Blue, white, this guy. Good times. Good times were had by all. Good times were had by all. Was that a good turn? Sometimes I misclicked, whatever. Sometimes I just, it's hard for me to figure out whether a turn has been a good one or not. I struggle with that sometimes, you know. What's up, JC? How you doing? Four Thoughts is first Inquisition, for the rest, for Orber, for Hexmage, for Dark Depths. 4 Bitter Blossom and 4 Repeal? Wait, what? I mean, why would you build a deck like that when you can just build it with Reclaimer and just like have Dark Depths every single game? Have it at instant speed, like Bitter Blossom blocks your 2020. I mean, that's not a great argument though. Like, you can play Engineered Explosives, you can play, like, there's so many better ways to work around. Like, Bitter Blossom is just like a bad, it's just a bad card. Bitter Blossom is just not playable anymore. This looks fine to me. Maybe Batterskull is just bad. I don't like Batterskull. Let's bring in Solitude because my opponent showed me fucking Awoken Horror. EES and kill 2020. No, it doesn't, but like, there's the Fairy Time Raveler, there's Solitude, there's, like, you can play so many actually good cards that answer the 2020 instead of playing a bad one, you know? Diffeasel with a 2-1 sub, coming back for 23 months. Thank you, Diffeasel. Really appreciate it. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. So this hand, I think it's a keep, but it's a little bit on the awkward side of things, because if my opponent does have the Blood Moon, I can't really do anything about it. Like, I have the answer, but the good thing is I don't need to do anything. And this is why Remand is bad. I'm not going to counter this. I think I'm just going to recast it. And we get super got by Blood Moon here. I am very well aware that we get super got by Blood Moon. They also get super got by Blood Moon, funnily enough. What's up? Probably going to play that next turn when I can protect it. I guess I can't protect it actually. I don't have blue mana. Stomp my dude. This seems worth flustering, I guess. And I'm gonna fluster as opposed to dispute, because dispute answers Brazen Borrower. Blue source? It's actually quite interesting. Bolt, my dude. Pay. I dare you. All right, you paid. You got me. 1, 2, 3. This guy. And I think we're gonna draw a Reclaimer here. Maybe should have upkeep there. There's an argument for like cracking an upkeep, just so I can play around Blood Moon for that turn. And then I can untap and just, you know, play Teferi and stuff. I'm pretty lucky though, so there's also that. Swing. So I guess I wait for them to choose a target. And then I crack Ranger Captain in response. Lightning Bolt. I think that's fine. And now if they want to counter this, we get to draw a card, which is nice. They can't cast spells now. So they had me draw a card, but they didn't. I think they had a counter spell in hand, but they didn't tap. Whoops. Like they had to counter before like they just messed up the sequencing basically. Opponent cycling over there, but this is looking like we're in pretty good shape. Yep. Let me look at you like this, chat. Okay. All right. 4-1. So the problem with this is that it gives me hope, right? I am really, really hoping that this is gonna work out. And then I play one league with this very, very rough deck list, and I go 4-1, and I'm just like, there's no way this is real, right? But I really want to believe. So, okay, cards that impressed me. Ranger Captain was not so. Ranger Captain was so good. I think I may want another copy of that card. Because we have so many bangers to go get. Like, honestly, like, Ranger Captain getting Elvish Reclaimer feels a little bit like cheating. Like, Reclaimer is like such an insane card. I am surprised that nobody has been fetching Reclaimer with Ranger Captain, or at least I have not really seen anybody do that before this. So the mana base definitely needs a little bit of work. I'm definitely gonna be cutting the canopy. Like, this card was just kind of awkward. The flagstones were good. Fetch lands were great. The canopy is kind of weird, and I think I want another blue source. We did find in a couple of situations, like particularly in the last matchup, I feel like against the control matchups, just trying to hold up multiple blue cards is going to come up fairly often. So maybe we want to have one extra hallowed fountain in place of the horizon canopy. Maybe breeding pool. But yeah, so those are the cards that impressed. Giver, we never got to cast. Maybe this is just not very good. Maybe this should just be something else. So maybe this can be the Ranger Captain. I would like the 4th copy of Solitude, but I don't know over what. I don't know what I'm supposed to replace the Solitude. Like, what is supposed to replace the Solitude? But I definitely like 24 lands. I don't think I'm definitely not cutting any lands. If anything, I'm adding 1 land. Maybe I don't need 3 sagas. Maybe I can just play 2 of them, and that would give me a more solid mana base. Because the way I'm looking at this is a 21 land deck, right? I would say 22 land deck, because I'm counting saga like maybe half a land. So this would be sort of a 22 land deck. And the sideboard, obviously, the sideboard is garbage, right? Like, the sideboard is not very good. So definitely need to take a look at the sideboard. Again, like, Force maybe is just too good to not play, but it's definitely not good in the deck because we don't really have that many green cards. So, you know, casting it for free means that we're going to need to be pitching either Reclaimer or Knight, which is not something I'm particularly excited about doing. Anything else? The Fairy was pretty nice, but I definitely would like some extra blue sources. So yeah, to begin with, I would cut Canopy for probably another breeding pool. So we need to keep the turn 1 Reclaimer sources solid. So cut Canopy for a breeding pool. Cut maybe a Saga for another fetch land or a hallowed fountain, one of those. Maybe a blast zone. Just I want one more land that just doesn't get destroyed. Then I would cut the Giver for the 4th Ranger Captain, and maybe cut Stoneforge for Solitude. No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe the 4 Solitude can be the sideboard. It's kind of weird to have Solitude in the sideboard, but maybe it works. I'm honestly not sold on the Retreat. We use it to win a couple of games, so it's not like embarrassingly bad, but it's pretty damn bad. It's pretty damn bad. It combos with Reclaimer for value, I guess. And Retreat does combo with Giver of Runes, but that's probably not enough. I don't know. It's close. It's definitely close. But yeah, there's a variety of matchups where we are just like we just don't want this in our deck. Like, we actively want this out of the deck. So because of that, I'm not super high on Retreat. But yeah. We'll definitely mess around with this some more. But I was thinking about playing a version with Noble Hierarch, and after playing with Reclaimer in this version, I just don't think I want to. I think that Reclaimer is just going to be better than Noble Hierarch will ever be. Particularly when we go a little bit higher on Ranger Captains, like when we play the full 4 copies. Just fetching Reclaimer is so good. So good. No, I think Ending is better than Solitude. because it kills Monkey on turn 1, DRC, and like there's just so many important things to kill with Prismatic Ending. Like this card's just so good. But yeah, this is those are the changes that I would recommend and that I'm going to be trying out next. But that's going to be it for this league. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.